discovered that the main thing in becoming fluent, to become fluent, you have to produce 2 or 3 words per second. More than two. Actually, there is a lot of data which shows that to pass the English proficiency test, you have to produce 156 words per minute. 156 words per minute you can produce only if you think in English. When a non-native speaker tries to speak in a foreign language, the biggest problem which he or she has is that he continues to think in his native language and tries
Correct.
to translate quickly in his mind, right?
Hmm.
Now, it's not possible. What is also not possible to stop this process. You can stop it only if you will create environment for non-native speaker to learn a language as children do it. That is subconsciously. That
Hmm.
means that between learning a language, what you are trying to do, and training subconsciously, there is a huge difference.
Hmm.
And that also explains why the world has great difficulties in learning English. You know that India traditionally has a very, very high level of English. However, those who didn't have a chance to start as children, and if they start to learn English as adults, they will have great problems. You
Hmm.
know that Japan is the leading industrial country, but it is the last on the list of English proficiency because they try to memorize English. They try to add English to their native language. It doesn't work.
Hmm.
So when you try to do consciously to learn a language, it wouldn't work. And I have two patents. I patented this idea that if you want to become fluent and speak fluently, you have to train all English skills concurrently. I came to this conclusion many years ago, and my first patent was issued in United States in 2002. In
Hmm.
2017, I have received a second patent on subconscious training of English skills. And according to that patent, all English skills must be trained concurrently, simultaneously. What that means is there is absolutely no meaning to learn reading, listening, speaking, grammar, pronunciation as separate skills. It wouldn't
Hmm.
work because consciously we cannot use them. Our conscious is so slow, the recall would be so slow that in the best scenario, you would be able to read and write, but you won't be able to speak because
Hmm.
consciously you cannot do it. You can do it only when your subconscious allows you to think in a new language. So, in this way, I have made a lot of discoveries. I have about 100 articles. I have maybe 1,000 posts on and a lot of followers. However, I am not a businessman, and it was not my purpose. I am a scientist and inventor.
Hmm.
Besides those two patents on language learning, I have 8 other patents in different topics. So if you will ask why my method is not in the mainstream, it was not my purpose. My purpose was to create it and keep continuing it. The latest creation, and I have sent you a post, maybe you have seen it, is that I have created a draft for application which allows a non-native speaker to learn any language. Can you imagine? Because usually when I say it, people do not understand it because it seems not possible. More than that, this application comes with zero lessons, and it allows you as a learner to learn any language: English, Russian, French, Spanish, whatever language you want, you can learn with this one application. It uses three inventions brought together. One, artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence API allows us to build into application and to put any query there. So when you create a lesson, you can create your personalized lessons for any language and for any level. And it also comes with so-called read aloud option, which reads this text with nearly human quality. And you can also correct or adjust the speed of reading so that you will understand it. If you are a beginner, it should be 30% lower than the natural speech. The second invention, it uses subconscious training. This application incorporates subconscious training. Now I should explain you what is the difference between conscious and subconscious in practical terms.
Hmm.
If you do one or two actions, for example, listening, or you listen to pronunciation, try then to copy it, it's conscious. Because
Hmm.
consciously we can do only one or two actions.
Hmm.
But if you do three actions at the same time, you are reading the text, listening to the recording, and speak at the same time, you automatically activate your subconscious part of the mind.
Hmm.
By the way, if I ask you, what is the ratio between your conscious and subconscious activity in your daily life? Give me the answer. If you know it or doesn't know, it doesn't matter. Intuitively, what is the ratio?
So intuitively, I mean, it is all coming from somewhere. I read that we are all of us are use very low percentage of our subconscious mind in our day-to-day thing. That's so 5 to 95, something
Uh,
like that.
1995 is what? Conscious or subconscious?
Conscious.
Uh,
5% we are using our
Anju,
subconscious.
that,
Hmm.
that is opposite is true. We use
Ah.
only 5% of conscious activity, all the rest is subconscious.
Hmm.
And
Okay.
that because you have this misconception, you didn't know the truth, nobody explained it to you before, or you didn't pay attention to it. That's why it seems that we take our all actions consciously, we do them subconsciously.
Hmm.
Because all our activity, breathing, metabolism, heart rhythm, cell temperature, pH, whatever your body does is done on the subconscious level. You have no idea about it, and it miraculously works wonders. Subconscious mind has its own characteristics and completely different mechanism in reference to conscious mind. So if you allow your mind subconsciously to absorb language, it does it much better. And your subconscious mind does it in such a way that then you can speak fluently in a language as native speakers do.
Hmm.
Why? Because all people in the world, when they were children, they used subconscious automatically. They
Hmm.
do not remember, they do not consciously learn. They absorb the language, and their subconscious is trained in such a way that it absorbs first words, then sentences, then complex sentences, and then he can speak. Any child speaks excellent language, his native language, without knowing any grammar. So if you understand that to speak fluently, you have to use subconscious mind. So that is the second invention. The third invention, self-learning, is a new paradigm in education.
Hmm.
Before, we all understood that we can learn from our teachers because our teachers were the only people who have knowledge and they transfer their knowledge to their students, right?
Hmm.
Wrong. Because with this AI, artificial intelligence revolution, it's not true. Artificial intelligence, if you create correct queries, knows much more than any teacher in the world, and that's why information is open. I can find any information on any subject in a second or two. So
That
information
that has
is
nothing to do with AI. It's more like information. We have a lot of information and readily available on internet. So I don't think it's AI specific. It's because of this information revolution, and because of this digital age. Every information is digitized, so we can get it anywhere on our tips.
no, not quite.
Hmm.
Because, there's a famous saying, Arthur Clarke said it, a famous writer, that on every topic in the world, there are two opinions, and
Hmm.
both of them are created by experts. So if
Hmm.
you will use, and as before, now 5 years ago, use Google, it was actually impossible to find information because you will find thousands of articles with opposite opinions, etc. AI gives you the option, a completely new option, to do something according to your interest and your belief system. Only yesterday, you didn't follow my post. I specially published a new post on this topic showing that if you do not have opinion and you try to find your opinion or support your opinion by making searches in artificial intelligence, it would be wrong because artificial intelligence has both opinions. It wouldn't work this way. But if you created your opinion and you do the query in such a way that you ask, what are the benefits of using subconscious training, you will answer exact answer, perfect answer, and perfect advice. So artificial intelligence is extremely important. That's why it's component number one in my draft. The second, we discuss subconscious training. The third is self-learning. We should understand that now self-learning is more important than ever before. And it's the most difficult part that learners would not actually understand it, appreciate. They need coaches who would explain them that I will teach you how to you can self-learn this because it would be much faster, much cheaper, and it will give you better results. Now, talking about the draft means that I have everything in details developed. I can even demonstrate every point, every part, component of this application in this or in our next meeting. And you will see that to create it, it's not difficult. We need only one or two web developers, and they will create web application that will change the way the Indians and the whole world learn English or any other foreign language. You should also understand that to create an application like what you have created, Speak Speako,
Hmm.
It requires, of course, certain investment. But investment in creating this application is not much higher. It's nearly the same. So what you should do if you understand the potential that you have in your hands and you decide to go this, you put on hold what you have created. It doesn't mean that you have to, close it and create another application and share it with your current students and share it with all media and see the results. You will be amazed by the results because it follows completely new approach to how we learn language. That's in a nutshell what I wanted to tell you. If you need, I can demonstrate you this draft. I can demonstrate how it works and why it works. Do you have
So
any
what are
questions?
your yeah, sorry. So what are your, stakes here? Like since it's your draft, why do you want a third person to work on it or to create an application on it? What are your stakes here? Because it's your invention, right?
No. Yes and no. I offer this invention to any company for free. I
Hmm.
don't ask you to pay me for this invention. More than that,
Hmm.
I offer free detailed technical specification.
Hmm.
I offer free technical support to implement it. I offer free quality assurance during creation of this application. Why I am doing it? Because my purpose is to change the way people learn languages. I have created not to make money. Make money, it's okay. It's the last thought on my mind. I created it to change the way we learn languages because I was given this. It is not invention. If we go into inventions, I would say that this is not invention. It is a download from God. God had given it to me because by my profession, I have PhD in science. I am not a linguist, but I know that what linguists don't know because I have learned it by myself and because I was given this invention. So I want to share it with the world. As inventor, I am not inventor or I'm not a businessman or investor. I won't be able to do it on my own. I don't have money. I need somebody who understands the potential of it and agrees to bring it to the world. Then, if you understand it and we make a contract, and finally, maybe on if you will get profit, we will make arrangement which part or portion, the smallest portion of that profit, your profit, you will share with me. But it's in the future. Upfront, no payment, no investment. Investment only what you something create if you want to change the way people learn language.
Okay. And have you tried this with others? I mean, since you are into that industry, so all these resources, I mean, there you might have already, or you might have presented this to others as well. So, what kind of feedback were you getting from people whom you have shared as well? This same, uh, the ideology or your thought process about this teaching any language through these four steps. What feedback did you get from others in your expertise area, in your circle?
I have mentioned you that probably that this is an application version number 4 or 5. I had previous versions, and the first one was for Russian immigrants who learned English when they came to United States. Now,
Hmm.
I'm immigrant by myself, and you understand that English is not my native language. I came here to this country 35 years ago from Russia. And I came with knowledge of English because I worked as simultaneous interpreter, and thousands, uh, about 30,000 Russian immigrants learned it by using my program at that time for software, and they successfully learned it. The success rate is great. If you go to my website, do you see my screen now?
Yeah, yeah, I can.
And here are testimonials. That's what people say. And then you can read all those testimonials. In China, mentor to teachers, teacher in Poland, Great Britain, teacher in United States, etc., etc. You will see that response was phenomenal. And by the way, you should also understand, because nowadays we do not have a proof of anything. Learning a language is such a complex process. It uses so many different factors that you have to use your logic, your intuition. And what I told you probably blew your mind because you never heard or something like that. And it's difficult to understand. No conscious learning, no corrective feedback. Corrective feedback, by the way, is very dramatically dangerous to students. They like it, they love it because they were expected for it, and teachers love it. Everything is great except that it does work because you cannot learn pronunciation consciously, because you cannot determine what is remember and what to forget. We do not have filter in our mind to remember correct pronunciation and forget the wrong pronunciation. So when you give them the feedback, it's not helpful. What they need subconscious training so that the subconscious mind, which is super fast, which has unlimited capacity to remember, record language patterns so that it will use them lately without thinking about it. That is a completely different story.
So, what
You
is your method of doing subconscious teaching? Because I couldn't find it in that blog that you shared. I mean, you talked about subconscious and why is it better than the corrective feedback, but what is the exact method of doing subconscious teaching?
Subconscious starts when you do three actions at the same time, and to do that, you need application. By the way, teacher cannot introduce subconscious training because a student must have a text, must have a recording, and must read, listen, and repeat. So application is a must to introduce, implement subconscious training. By the way, sometimes people ask, but if we introduce subconscious training and self-learning, then teachers would not be needed. The opposite is wrong because this is such a new approach that it needs more than before, but not teachers, coaches. You have to become a coach, guide, because student, without your help, without explaining them what I have explained to you now, and helping them on every step of their journey to language fluency, without your help, they won't be able to do it. It is
So, when
called
you say your, it's an app basically, right? The app is helping them.
app is the main tool, but without your help, they won't be able to use it because as adults, nothing have prepared them to use it because they don't know how to activate the subconscious training. what I've told you now, and you start to understand it, and you, without help of a teacher, it would be impossible to do. But teacher, in the sense that you transfer your knowledge, you explain to them this means this, and remember it. By the way, do you know how much you remember what I've told you will remember in 30 days from now? How much you
No,
will remember?
mainly less than 5%.
Exactly. So you will not remember it. That's why, first of all, I am doing this recording. You will be able to watch it again and think about it, because that's what you need to absorb and to think in it. So the and by the way, if you remember only 5%, excuse me, why conscious learning? You do conscious learning or you teach consciously, because learners will forget it anyway.
So
Subcon-
the intention is more like recurring and like more time. They whenever they need it, they'll just come it and listen to it. So it's like repetition, right? It's not like
repetition, but
the
consciously
way you
you.
are doing recording, right? It's repetition. I'm listening to the recording and that 5% become 10%, 15%, so and so forth. So it's more repetition rather than, so but what I want to, because I have just limited seven, it's showing 7 minutes, the meeting will end. So I just wanted to understand basically, as you have already have an app, because the when you were showing the website, it was showing some Android app. So you already have an app with
I
this
have
thing.
I have Android app which was created 3 or 4 years ago, and you can
Yeah.
download this app and play with it. But
Yeah.
the draft which I described to you is a completely new undertaking. And that previous application you can find on my website. There's a direct link. Click on it in your Android tablet. You can install it on your Android tablet. It's only for Android. But the draft I'm talking about now, and I try to explain you that we need to create it together to change, because it uses completely different approach. It is unlimited lessons, it is unlimited languages, and gives you personalized lessons which unprecedented before. In my current application on Google Play Store, all lessons are pre-recorded, although you can add there or your own lessons also, but it was old version which was created before artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence gives you completely new options, and so you may download and check the old application and then understand that the draft is the next generation which we have to use.
So when you say artificial, since I have worked with artificial intelligence, so I know quite a bit about it and how the models are created, how they are trained. So, and it's a huge thing. It's a huge cost, like creating something out of artificial intelligence. You have already something in place and you have already got it like some
You do,
validation from
it's
the users.
not a great course. You misunderstood me if you say that I am telling you to create something in artificial intelligence. We do
Mhm.
not create anything in artificial intelligence. We use it. Some of them already now offer API. You know what is API?
Yeah, because Pico already use APIs, but they are not very accurate. So what I'm trying to say, already a lot of work is being done, which is in very nascent stage. But you are coming out with a totally different ideology, which is subconscious. So everyone is working on this conscious or corrective feedback thing, but you are talking about AI and then in the subconscious space.
Yes.
So you identified they're already existing. Have you at least identified those APIs? Which provider is giving those APIs? Who is working in this subconscious learning kind of space?
Yes, because that application it combines three inventions together. And
Hmm.
if you read it and you watch it now, without I have just given you outline. Probably to understand it more, you have to see it or to watch it. I have a whole application and I can show it, and it will require another 45 minutes to show me how it works, how you create
Is it
lessons.
possible to send a link? Because I know my meeting will, it's a free version, so it'll end. But is it possible to get some links that I can explore about the draft and about the patents which you have? Because I want to read it in a, in a more more details or with
Yes,
more.
there is an post where I have already described it, and it includes also a PowerPoint presentation. I
Great.
I have shown it to you, but probably it was too much, and you didn't notice it because all information is so intense that you didn't see it. I will send it again. I can send you even the latest PowerPoint presentation separately with explanatory notes, and you will read it, you will understand. When
Yeah.
you read
So
and
I would like,
understand it more, then probably we can schedule another meeting
yeah,
and I will
another
show
follow.
you it in details how it works. Because if I'll
Sure.
show you that I can create any lesson in any language, it's how to say, without seeing it you wouldn't understand it how it is done.
Mm.
I can show it now, but we have no time.
Yeah, it's time. Sorry, so. Let me read it. And also one more thing, you said there is already application. Did I understand it correctly? You said there are already applications
The
who
old
are.
application, which is not which was done before artificial intelligence,
Yeah,
it uses subconscious training. In that sense, it is maybe interesting to you. I will also send you the link to it. You can do have Android tablet or phone.
I will. I mean, I don't have, but I'll try to sneak from my father's and try to
Yeah,
check it.
try and install it and use it. But again, that application is old. It's not what I offer you now. I offer it only to see how subconscious training works because it's excellent example of how to use it. Okay, the old one, but
Yeah.
don't be confused. The old application and the new, I do not have application, I have only draft. That is, I have all components, separate components, which you, if you decide to go this way, with help of your software developers, will bring to market very quickly and with minimum investment and with maximum return on investment because you understand that the learners will learn with this application very fast. And by the way, they will learn their pronunciation subconsciously. That's what they need. Because
Yeah. So
when you hear, listen, and repeat, you subconsciously absorb correct pronunciation because your main barrier to correct pronunciation is that you are thinking in the native language. And when you do subconsciously, what it does, first, what it does, it turns off your native language. Native language, when you do subconscious training, does not exist in your head. That's what I have discovered and patented. If you do three actions at the same time, you do not think in native language.